Good evening and welcome to the Formula Racing League. This is the 100% Racing Series. The second round of the championship is here in Japan. And qualifying was already completed last night, which saw Orange and Gamma take pole position in the racing point with Dixon, who won last time out at Monza alongside him, and Newbell, who didn't compete last week, is in third spots on the grid. Jay Hartnell will start fourth on the mediums. Eckhart in fifth, also starts on the mediums, likewise with Statistic King in sixth. Ollie is in seventh on the softs. King of the Hills eighth on the mediums, Wild Dog ninth on the softs. And Moody didn't set a time, so he has a free choice of tyre. So just waiting for all the fuel and tyre strategies to be complete. Just looking at the number of drivers we've got for this session, I believe we've got 19 drivers involved for tonight's race. We'll have a look at the remainder of the grid. We had 19 starters last week. We've got 19 starters tonight. So this is the second round of 9 here at Suzuka in Japan. Looking at the driver standings, Dixon leading the way by 9 points over Orange and Gamma with the fastest up and race win last time out in Italy. And the drivers go off onto their formation lap. So a chance to see who is starting on what. So the top 10, or the top 9 I should say, or yeah, in fact the top 8 starting on the same tyres as they set their fastest quali laps on. It looks as though that's, just looking at who is not in there, it looks as though that Dixon's not in. So he won't be taking victory here today. There'll be another new winner, so we could well see a different driver leading the championship by the end of the 53-lap Japanese Grand Prix. And Luna Ascari just tuning in saying good luck to Jamie and James. Very nice words of you there, Luna. It would been excellent to see you on the grid tonight. But yes, in case you want to know who is Jamie and James, well, James is in the Williams, starting in 12th place. And Jamie, as far as I know, I don't actually know which one is Jamie, to be honest with you. But I'd like to think he's starting towards the back anyway. But that's something that Luna Ascari may be able to fill me in on. So in terms of the rest of the grid, Paskov, Williams and Pimis all start on the mini compound. All the others are starting on the softs, except Jay Hartnell, Eckhart, Statistic King and King of the Hills, who are starting on the mediums, the compound of which they set their fastest qualifying times last night. So Orange and Gamma will lead the field onto the grid for the start of this Japanese Grand Prix. So Orange and Gamma leading the field onto the grid. There's no Dixon in today. He would have been competing in the AlphaTauri, I think it was. No, it was in the Williams he was competing in qualifying. But sadly, he won't be racing here tonight. But hopefully he'll be back for next week's race in Canada. So everyone is in position then. Just waiting for those all-important 5 red lights to come on. And when they go off, the race in Suzuka will get underway. Lights out, and away we go. Orange and Gamma gets off the line well, as does the Red Bull of New Bell right behind him. We got Eckhart making his way up into third position in the AlphaTauri, getting ahead of Jay Hartnell. So that's fourth and fifth for those two. Jay Hartnell under pressure from the Haas of Ollie and drops down to fifth place. So Jay Hartnell not getting the best of starts. Behind him is Statistic King, and behind him is Paskov, Wild Dog, Pimis, and Moody round at the top 10. There's a move for second place, or third place I should say, between Eckhart and Ollie, and I think Ollie's got ahead of the AlphaTauri, so Ollie making a brilliant getaway from sixth place on the grid, I believe, and he's chasing down Newbell for second. Someone's had a spin at the back. Eckhart has spun round at the Dunlop curve. He's already got a lot of ground to make up from there. So Orange and Gamma keeps his racing point in the lead, Newbell in second. Then we've got Ollie, Paskov, Statistic King, Wild Dog, Moody, Pimis. And we've got a move there. It looks like King of the Hill's going around the outside of Williams for ninth place, although Williams got better momentum on the exit of the hairpin to put himself up into P9. And King of the Hills is about to lose another position to the Ferrari of Marcy. Marcy moving up another place there. And we've got the Mercedes, the two Mercedes of Max and Woo Max, that is. And side by side into 130R goes Pimis and Wild Dog. He kept it clean. Wild Dog gave him enough space. Williams looking to the outside into the Casio triangle before they complete lap one. And we've got a move for second place now because Ollie has just got past what looks like Newbell. Oh no, I think that's just the graphic glitching itself actually. So what you're seeing at the moment is not the current standings. So wait for the current standings to rectify. We've already got a car in the pits. That'll be Milios for a jump start. He's just serving, I think, a drive-through penalty, but he's actually in the pits for a change of tyres and a new front wing, as is Eckhart. So Pimis will need, Melios will need to pit in to serve his drive-through penalty. So back to the battle for the lead. Just trying to get onto the right driver. There he is. Orange and Gamma out in front, with Newbell in second. And in third place is Ollie, who started on the soft compound. Then we've got the McLaren of Paskov, and behind him is the second Red Bull of Statistic King. Then we've got the Williams of Pimis, who takes to the grass as he enters Spoon. Moody is right behind him. And then it's Williams in eighth place. We're just waiting for the graphic to completely update itself. I think by the time Eckhart gets through the end of sector one, it'll change. There we go. So we've got the proper leaderboard with Orange and Gamma over 3 seconds in front of Newbell, as DRS is now enabled. Or it should be enabled by the time the drivers do complete lap 3, or lap 2 I should say. It does say lap 3 on there now, so we should see the confirmation of DRS being enabled. Marcy looking to get past Moody for what looks like for 7th place. He's already got past Williams, who's dropped back a couple of places. But Marcy is making up some good ground. Already up to 8th place. I want to go to the battle for third because Ollie's made a mistake somewhere, and now he's going to be under huge pressure from the McLaren of Paskov and the Red Bull of Statistic King. So exiting Degner and coming towards the hairpin. Safdar's in the pits for what I believe is a new nose cone and a change of tyres. Milios is in the pits again to serve his drive-through penalty for that jump start. So the battle for third rages on. Driver's going through soon. Paskov runs wide through Spoon. That's going to open the door for Statistic King to try and go through, but he couldn't quite do it. So Paskov luckily keeping hold of 4th position. Can he make that third? Around the outside of 130R. This is Fernando Alonso and Michael Schumacher all over again all those years back. Paskov makes a move that was probably easier to get done than what it was back in 2005. And we've got Melios, who's had an excursion through the gravel trap, and he's on his way again. So Paskov up into 3rd place. Ollie now under pressure from Statistic King, who's going to have DRS. And I think Ollie's going to protect that position of 4th as they come down into turns 1 and 2. He's Slow Coach in 13th position. Marcy down to 14th. I wonder if Marcy's made a mistake somewhere in the Ferrari. Pimis likewise. So one of those two have had to come in together at some point. Han in 16th position. Well, Eckert, Safdar, and Milios have got a lot of ground to make up after pitting. But Orange and Gamma is out in front. He's looking to dominate this from the front. Second last time out at Monza. I'm just looking to see where he actually started for that particular race. We'll find that another time, but I think Orange and Gamma was quite up in the field anyway. And his pace is very much showing in this race so far. Statistic King getting past Ollie on the back straight for 4th position as they enter 130R with Statistic King ahead of the Haas. Then we've got the Mercedes of Max and Woo Max in 6th and 7th. Jay Hartnell getting past his teammate King of the Hills for 11th place. He's got Wild Dog ahead of him as they come through the Casio Triangle. Now Jay Hartnell will get the benefit of the DRS, unlike the Haas ahead of him. So I think it's going to be very hard for Wild Dog to fend off this one on this occasion. Jay Hartnell going to the inside, and he'll have the job done before turn 1. So Ollie in 5th. With the Mercedes drivers of Max and Woo Max closing him down. We're now on lap 5 out of 53. The gap now increased to 8 seconds between Orange and Gamma and New Bell. And Slow Coach has gone off into the gravel. That looks like turn 6, I believe. It's corner just before the Dunlop. He rejoins ahead of Han. That mistake. Oh, and Slow Coach spins again. Now Slow Coach has got to be careful. He's pointing the wrong way. No, can't reset back onto the track. He's damaged the front wing as well, so he's going to need to come back into the pits to get that nose changed. So here's Gamma leading, increasing his lead. Unstoppable at the moment. And we go back to the battle before 8th position. I think Williams has got ahead of Moody actually, but Moody's going to have the DRS as they come down the start-finish straight, and Moody just kept his AlphaTauri pointing in the right direction. Further behind, there's a fight between Marcy and King of the Hills. I think Marcy's just got past King of the Hills, and Pimis is going to go past him as well, so King of the Hills not having a good few laps at the moment, dropping down to 14th place. Orange and Gamma doing everything right so far. And Ollie's lost the position to Max as well, so Max goes up into 5th place. Now, a lot of these drivers didn't race at Monza last week. Jay Hartnell closes in on the AlphaTauri of Moody for 9th position. The AlphaTauri running wide onto the grass there. And onto the back straight they come. Jay Hartnell going to the inside as they enter 130R. And the Renault goes in front on this occasion. Very nice move there from Hartnell. Goes up into P9. Max will have DRS behind the Haas of Ollie. He won't be gaining enough on this occasion to get the move done, so he'll sit behind him a little bit longer. There's Pimis in 12th place. Uses up a lot of his ERS. There's Safdar behind the AlphaTauri of Eckert in the battle for 16th. We know Safdar's a very quick driver in this, so this should be relatively easy for him. DRS open. How much will Eckhart go defensive here? Not very much. And so Safdar goes through. Nice move there from the Racing Point driver. Statistic King in 4th position, but we want to go to the battle for 2nd because Paskov has closed in on New Belt. I think Paskov is going to be on better tyres at this stage than the Red Bull is. Now he'll be able to use DRS to at least close in, which he does now. And Ollie's in the pits for a change of tyres. He's pitted quite early actually, lap 7. In fact, he's retired. So Ollie's had enough, which is very surprising. I'm not sure what that is all about. I'm keen to find out what exactly happened. So Ollie becomes the first retirement of this race. And there seems to be a yellow flag all around the circuit. Now, I haven't seen a major incident somewhere. That may just be the AlphaTauri, not the AlphaTauri, the Haas driver pulling off. We want to go to the battle for 2nd because Paskov is all over the back of New Belt for 2nd place here. Orange Gamma's lead now 15 seconds as he approaches the end of lap 8. Paskov using his ERS, and Newbell's got a load of ERS that he could use to defend for when they get onto the start-finish straight. Slow coach in the pits for a new front wing. He's already gone down a lap now as the Ferrari driver. And Newbell coming into the pits to get rid of those soft tyres. Oh, he's got a damaged nose cone actually, hence why his pace has dropped so much. So Paskov goes up into 2nd place. Statistic King is now 3rd. Max 4th, Wu Max 5th, Williams 6th, Hartnell 7th. And got a battle for 8th position between Pimis and Moody. And Pimis goes past the AlphaTauri and up into 8th place. King of the Hills also goes past New Belt, who rejoins in 11th. Wild Dog in the pits in the sole surviving Haas. I think this is for a new nose cone actually. Yeah, it is. Damage on both sides. Safdar is continuing his recovery. He should go past the Haas actually. And Safdar goes up into 12th place now. So if you have just joined us for this Japanese Grand Prix, the 100% Racing Series in the Formula Racing League, we do welcome you. Feel free to get involved in the conversation. Here's Max, who's continuing his charge in this race so far. He's been brilliant since the beginning. He's got a great opportunity to get into the slipstream with DRS and complete a move on the Red Bull for Statistic King. The only problem is Statistic King has got DRS as he was within a second behind Paskov ahead. So no change of position there. The Womax will be all over the Red Bull before these three come in for their pit stops. Now, Newbell's gone on to another set of the soft compound, so he will need to pit again. Statistic King in 3rd place. Starting on the medium tyres like Paskov has done. Now they come through Spoon. And we've got King of the Hills has just been given a time penalty. It's a 3-second time penalty. That'll be for multiple warnings or exceeding track limits too many times. Here's Max right behind the Red Bull now, approaching 130R. This is the closest Max has been to the Red Bull since he's caught up to him. Through the Castillo triangle they go. I think Max may be too far back to have a go on this occasion because Statistic King has got the DRS as well as the Mercedes. So Max is going to have to wait a little bit longer. Newbell getting past King of the Hills for 9th place. King of the Hills is yet to stop in this race. And that's Eckhart going past Wild Dog. And Han going past Marcy, whose car is being controlled by the AI at the moment. Now Max needs to try and maybe go for a move at somewhere that's not turn 1. Or Statistic King got out of shape coming off Degner, and Max is going to go to the inside, and it's 3rd place going to the Mercedes, is it? Or has the Red Bull got good traction on the exit of the hairpin? Well, they are side by side, but I think Max has got this one covered. So yeah, he pulls across, and Max gets himself up into 3rd place now. Can he close in on Paskov? The only problem that Max is going to have is not being able to have the DRS for when him and Statistic King go down the start-finish straight. But we'll see. And the fastest up of the race so far has gone to Sufdart. He wouldn't keep that championship point as he's outside of the top 10. Here we ride on board with him. He's behind Moody, who has yet to stop in this race so far. Sufdart goes to up into 11th on the fresher tyres. Max now within half a second of Paskov. It seems as though he's finding more time in the corners than he's doing so on the straights. Now, if Max does get by Paskov, it'll be interesting to see if he can start closing in on the leader. And Onjin Gamma has lapped the Alfa Romeo of Han. So 3 drivers have been lapped in this race so far already. Now here's Max. He's got a similar amount of EOS as Paskov has. Right on board with Max as they come down the start-finish straight. Max's exit wasn't particularly great, if I'm honest with you. But he's got the DRS. How close will he be to Paskov in order to go for the move? Jay Hartnell trying to get past Williams for 6th. Can't quite do it there. And Sufdart is 15 seconds behind King of the Hills. Clearly setting some great laps so far. I think the fastest lap he's done is a 1:31. Well, this lap time he's done now is a 1:32. And the fastest lap is a 1:31.7. It's clear his tyres starting to go off a little bit, but not too much. But here's Max over the back of Paskov. And I believe there may be some rain hanging over the horizon. It is expected to rain at some point in this race as well. just looked at the weather forecast, and it is coming. It's just a matter of when it will hit the circuit. If you are watching this, do not go anywhere. And Max determined to just get in front of Paskov as soon as he can. There's a laps Ferrari ahead of him who goes and moves out of the way. And that's Paskov and Max pulling clear. Jay Hartnell all over the back of Williams for 6th position. He's run wide. Oh, he spins! Jay Hartnell spun on the exit of turn 2. Now, can he get the car spun round and points in the right way again? He can. I think Pimis is going to go past him, though. Yes, he does. So Pimis gets past Jay Hartnell. So Hartnell drops down to 8th place with that spin. And I think he's spun again, actually. Yes, he has. Jay Hartnell's gone off again. Now, King of the Hills will go past him. Now, Safdar is running in 11th. And Wayne Max is still behind Paskov and he's losing time to him. I wonder if Max's tyres are beginning to fall off the cliff. Now the question is, does he stay out on those soft tyres? Or will he choose to come in and put another set on? And we've got one driver's dropping down the order. It's Moody in 15th position. He's already lost a few positions. That's down at Degnut, or up at Degnut, and he's damaged his front wing and he keeps spinning around. Now the leader keeps going past it, and this is not good driving standards from Moody. I'm sorry, but it's not. Now Han will be coming through. The AlphaTauri does rejoin the circuit. Now Han just got to just watch it, really. She didn't need to slow down that much. Oh, and the AlphaTauri spun! Perhaps you should take my words back then. So Miman Moody goes for another spin. And if he's going to keep spinning like that, I think he may as well call it quits. These Orange and Gamma still leading. Over 22 seconds in front now of Paskov in second. Suzuki King now on the rear of the Mercedes of Max. To the inside he goes. I don't think Max is going to have any defence on this one. If I was Max, I would consider coming in for a change of tyres. The last thing he wants is a deflated tyre. But Max decides to stay out. He's got the use of the DRS, but his tyres are going to be pretty much second hand. He's been on them since the start. If Max was to come in for a pit stop, that would put him, I would say, back out behind Newbell. But he'll be on much fresher rubber. Miman Moody in the pits for a new front wing. He's back out again. And he'll rejoin in 17th place. Orange and Gamma looks unstoppable at the moment, though. Statistic King in third place is now, well, he got ahead of Max on the previous lap. And someone's had a moment. I think that's, looks like Milios has gone for a spin. Orange and Gamma beginning lap 17. We're approaching third race distance. Now, if the rain is going to be coming down, it's very much the crossover point between slicks and intermediates. Now, Orange and Gamma has yet to make a pit stop so far. He has been on the soft tyres since the start of the race. Now, there are more and more drivers getting time penalties at the moment. Oh, and Milios has spun. So Milios has spun in the McLaren. And he's got going again, but he'll need to pit in for a new nose cone. It's had a wretched race so far. I think Origin Gamma's tyres are pretty much falling off the cliff now, surely. And he's got 23 seconds in hand. Surely he's got enough to complete a pit stop and get out in front of Paskov. Will he choose to pit in? No, he stays out for another lap. Now Safdar has got ahead of Jay Hartnell. Closing in on King of the Hills. He's carrying a 3-second time penalty at the moment. Milios in the pits from McLaren. Back out on another set of the soft compound. Orange and Gamma continuing to lead out in front. 23 seconds is still the gap between him and Paskov. And Milios is out. Milios is crashed out on at the S's. Now, is that going to initiate a safety car? Yeah, it's a safety car. And now we can see the full picture in terms of who's got what in terms of penalties. But yeah, we've got a safety car due to Milios crashing out on the exit of turn 2. Or turn 4, I think it was. I hope that was not intentional, because we don't tolerate that kind of driving standards in this league, if that's the case. But Orange and Gamma is going to be pitting for probably another set of the softs. Yeah, it's another set of the soft compound. Paskov hasn't made it to the pits yet. But Orange and Gamma will rejoin, still in the lead. Paskov has gone through the pit straight, but Statistic King is in the pits for another change of the soft compound. Max likewise, with Max also pitting in. Well, Pimis had to jam on the brakes as well. So Pimis pits in for the hard tyres. Clearly he's thinking that the race is not going to be coming. Or the rain's not going to be coming. Now everyone, now looking at Han in 14th, she's a lap down on the leaders. Slow Coach is 2 laps behind. So on lap 19, Origin Gamma's lead has been wiped out. Paskov in 2nd place, who's yet to stop, as is Williams in 3rd, Statistic King 4th, Max is 5th, Max is in 6th, New Bell is in 7th, followed by Pimis, who's had a bit of an excursion somewhere, Jay Hartnell 9th, King of the Hills 10th, Safdar, Wild Dog, Eckhart, Han and Moody in the top 15 point scoring positions. Now the safety car lights are still on, so we'll probably stay on for another lap. We'll give those at the back an opportunity to catch up to the rest of the field. before the race gets back on the way. I'm just looking at those clouds at the moment. There doesn't appear to be any raindrops yet, but it will be coming at some point during this race. So Jamie is statistic king, Larry Mascari was saying to me earlier. Thank you for filling me in that. So Orange and Gamma on new soft tyres, Paskov and Williams on old mediums. Statistic King, Max, Wumax on fresh softs, Newbell on fresh mediums, Pimis on fresh hards, J Hartnell on freshish softs. We're getting told that Ollie's retirement was due to the fact that he had the setup incorrect. So we've got 6 drivers with time penalties. King of the Hills with 3, Eckhots with 3, Han with 3, Safdar with 5, Wild Dog with 6, and Moody with 8. Now Orange and Gamma will be looking to pull away on the restart, as he did so at the start of this race. The safety car is not going to be... Or is the safety car coming in? I think the safety car is in this lap. So Gamma will slow the pack down. And he'll pull clear when he's ready. And he's decided to go now. And we're back underway here at Suzuka with Gamma leading. And we've got a battle between Paskov in... Well, I say Paskov in second place. He's just coming up to lap the Ferrari of Slow Coach. Then it's Williams in third. Then it's Statistic King, who pitted for the soft tyres under the safety car. He's in fourth position. Max, Wumax, Newbell, J Hartnell, Pimis and Safdar in the top 10. And we go to the battle for third, actually, because Williams and Statistic King are fighting over that position as we come through Degner. No change there. And Statistic King will need to try and get by the Williams driver as soon as he can. Now Williams got poor traction coming out of the hairpin. Statistic King not doing enough to get the job done. So he has to wait. Thought about going to the inside. But decides to wait a little bit more. Might be able to do it into the Casio triangle. There's no DRS for the first 2 laps of the restart. That's Statistic King. Looks to get the job done on the Williams. Come down the start finish straight, side by side they go. Statistic King on the inside, down into the first turn. And Statistic King goes back up into third place. And Wumax down to 8th, actually. I think he's made a mistake somewhere as the Mercedes pilot. Safdar's in 9th, Pimis is in 10th. Safdar making up a position on the first lap of the restart. There's Newbell in 6th position. Just up in the Ferrari of Slow Coach. There's Max in 5th place. Looking to be the next driver to push Williams further down the order. And Max going to the inside of Williams at Spoon, and that puts him up a position into 4th. Williams down to 5th, and it looks as though the second Red Bull of Newbell is lined up for a pass. And the rain is starting to pour. I'm saying starting to pour, it's starting to come down now. Newbell on the mediums, going side by side with Williams into the first turn, and that's him up a place into 5th. Jay Hartnell is next in the Renault. And it's Safdar in 8th, ahead of Max now. Now Statistic King looking to put Pascal under pressure and force him into a mistake. Red Bull waits a little bit. Down towards Spoon they go. Now Statistic King will move into the slipstream. DRS being used. Does Statistic King go to the inside? Oh, he did, and then Paskov went onto the runoff area because he felt that Statistic King was going to be alongside him. Jay Hartnell gets past Williams into 130R to go up into 6th place. I think we're going to see a change for second here as Statistic King goes to the outside on the cleaner line. The second place goes to the Red Bull. Safdar getting by Williams for 7th place now, so Williams losing another position. There's Max behind. Pimis on the hard tyres, looking to pounce. Jay Hartnell in 6th position behind Newbell as the rain continues to drop onto the circuit. It's only a matter of time before the track starts becoming a little bit more greasy. Not enough to convince the drivers to go on some intermediates yet. Now Jay Hartnell right behind the Red Bull of Newbell, side by side through 130R. And Jay Hartnell's cautious entry into 130R is allowing Safdar to close in behind. The Racing Point is going to be using the DRS as they go down the start-finish straight, and Safdar is going to move up a position before they even get to the turn. So Safdar goes up into 6th place. Max looking to get the move done on the Williams of Williams. And the rain is continuing to drop. Not time for the intermediates just yet. DRS has not yet been disabled in this race. So here's Max. He's got better drive coming out of the hairpin. I'm not sure if Paskov's trying to go defensive here. He's using his ERS, so he must be going defensive. And someone has had a moment at the S's. That'll be the Ferrari of Slow Coach. Softar getting a 5-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Now that's interesting. Closing in on the Red Bull of Newbelt, whilst Max tries to get a move done on the McLaren of Paskov. DRS open, side by side, and the Mercedes goes through. Softar looking to go past Newbelt. To the outside he goes, before turn 1, and the Racing Point is ahead. Wildog in the pits for, I think, for a new front wing, and going on to the intermediates already. It's quite early actually. And Wildog is on his way. Is he going to be able to find enough time on the intermediates? Or has he gone too soon, I wonder? Now, Orange and Gamma will be carefully thinking about when to pit in for intermediates. It's getting to that crossover point at the moment. It's got over 8 seconds in hand, so Orange and Gamma doesn't need to be pushing too hard. And also Eckhart is in the pits for AlphaTauri. He's going on the intermediates. So yeah, I think the rain is... Now, someone off there at Degner. Yeah, it's this Wildog on the intermediates. So has he gone too soon, I wonder? Orange and Gamma deciding to continue on for another lap. So it's getting close now, but intermediates become the tyres to be on. Now Paskov comes into the pits. He's done 26 laps on the medium tyres, and now he's going to go straight onto the intermediates. Now, is that the right decision? For rejoining 11th, he's way ahead of Eckhart actually, so he's got an opportunity to get some temperature into those intermediates, start putting together some decent laps on them. You can see a battle for 8th place as Pimmins goes to the inside of Wumax on the hard tyres. Oh, he goes wide though. So Pimmins goes wide and Wumax goes back through. Now the conditions are beginning to take its toll now on the drivers as they're starting to struggle. Now Orange and Gamma must be thinking about pitting in this lap to get some intermediate tyres on. You cannot think he's going to set some competitive laps with the conditions as they are now. Marcy and Slow Coach in the pits. Gamma is in now as well. Statistic King right behind. Well, I say right behind, he's nearly 10 seconds behind. Max also pitting, as does Safdar. And we've got an incident somewhere because we've got a virtual safety car. Not sure what's happened, but someone has had a moment. And this plays into the hands of those on the intermediates, and you can see Max having to wait there in his box before the crew could service him. Safdar serving some of his time penalty under the virtual safety car. So Orange and Gamma is still in the lead on the intermediate tyres. Statistic King second, Max third, Newbell fourth, Safdar fifth, Jay Hartnell sixth, Williams seventh, Max eighth. I think Paskov is going to move up to eighth actually. Max 9th and Pemis in 10th place. So just waiting for racing to get back underway again. When that mini-map on the right hand side goes green, that means we'll be racing again. And we are now. So Gamma continues on, maintains a healthy margin over Statistic King in second place. Statistic King nearly losing it on the exit of Degner. That's going to cost him a little bit of time. Safdar right behind New Bell, actually. And Wild Dog's out. He's back in the pits again, and he's calling it a day. And Moody has got no front wing to his car, and he's gone into the pit while he's out. Now, that's just really poor driving standards, is that? I'm sorry, but that's not good enough. I'm pretty sure the owner will have a look at that. But Orange Gamma is still out in front. Gamma out in the lead. Safdar in 5th position behind the Red Bull of New Bell. And New Bell back in the pits. Is that for a change of front wing? I think it may well be, you know. So New Bell's race is going from bad to worse already. Or is that for a drive-through penalty, in fact? I think it's for a drive-through penalty for exceeding or for speeding under the virtual safety car. That'll drop into 11th place as King of the Hills goes past, and he's on his way again. We've got 4 drivers out of this race already. Wild Dog is one of them, Moody's another, Melios and Ollie are the other drivers who have exited this race prematurely. Williams gets past Puskov for 5th place. Now, if the rain keeps coming down, which it is doing, how long will it be until wet tyres are the necessary rubber to have on? Wilmot's going to the outside of Hartnell for what looks like 7th place. I think that's Pimis, actually. He's got by. So Wilmot's up into 7th place ahead of the Williams. Jay Hartnell is in 9th. Now, can Pimis fight back and get back that 7th position? Puskov in 6th place, clearly struggling on the intermediates. And yeah, you can definitely see the rain coming down more and more and more. I've got a feeling that we are going to see wet tyres being used. It's just a matter of when. Newbell getting back through on King of the Hills for 10th. And he's got the other Renault of Jay Hartnell in his way. And in fact, Jay Hartnell's got a broken front wing, so that moves Newbell up a position. Now, if you were to ask me what are the best tyres to be on, it's definitely the intermediates at the moment, because there's not enough standing water to convince any driver that the wet tyres are the way to go. I mean, you don't need a weather forecaster to tell you that it's raining. You can tell by the raindrops hitting the ground from that low camera angle. So the gap between Gamma and Statistic King, 10 seconds now. Neither of them have time penalties. There are currently 5 drivers who have time penalties. There are Puskov, King of the Hills, Eckert, Han and Slow Coach. There's Max in 3rd place. He's done very well, actually. Starting towards the back of the grid. He's made his way up from 17th to 3rd. Oh, he doesn't want to undo all that hard work by running wide like that. He's got away with it, though. So he's up from 17th to 3rd. His teammate Wumax up from 18th to 7th. Safdar up from 14th to 4th. Now Pimis going to the outside of Wumax in the battle for 7th place, and Pimis gets back through. So Pimis making up for lost time. Closest battle we've got. Oh, someone's gone wide. It's Max. Max has gone wide in the Mercedes at Dunlop. So Max, as we were saying, who was struggling for grip at 130R on the previous lap, has gone off again. This time at Dunlop, and it's cost him a position to the racing point of Safdar. Now, are the conditions becoming tricky enough for the intermediates to the point which wet tyres are needed? Probably not, because you can definitely see the road marks coming from the intermediate tyres. It's definitely not time for wet tyres yet. There's Han in 13th position. She is a lap down on the leader. Yeah, she's 1 lap behind the leader. Marcy and Slow Coach 2 laps down. All the others are on the lead lap. And the drivers are very much beginning to space out now. I'm just thinking, will they take these intermediates to the end of the race? Or will some decide to put on a fresh set of tyres before the race finishes? Answers on a postcard. And Slow Coach has picked up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Hence why he's got that penalty, actually. .22 laps to go. Orange and Gamma is excelling in these conditions like he owns the racetrack here at Suzuka. Statistic King in a racing point sandwich, with Safdar continuing to close in all the time. It won't be too long before he gets onto the rear wing of the Red Bull. Max in 4th place despite that couple of excursions. Williams is in 5th place. That's not a bad effort from him. Paskov in 6th place is carrying an 8-second time penalty to his name. Pimis is in 7th ahead of Wumax, Newbell and King of the Hills. Jay Hartnell's 25 seconds behind his teammate, actually. So Gamma stretching out his advantage. 14 seconds now the gap. We can see Safdar is close to within half a second now of the Red Bull. Runs a little bit wide down at the first turn, but he's got away with it. Just trying to find grip anywhere he can. Will he go to the outside of the Red Bull? Right on board now with the racing point, and Statistic King goes a little bit wide. That may allow Safdar to capitalise and go through here. Will he get the job done into the hairpin? He may go to the outside and get better drive out of there. And Safdar, does he get better traction than the Red Bull? I think it's around about the same. Safdar having to sacrifice a little bit of speed to avoid running onto the grass. Still no change, but Safdar, I think there's going to be a change of second place here because he's clearly the quicker driver of the two. He's using his ERS look, and someone's handing off at turn 3, I believe, but it's carried on. That'll be Han in the Alfa Romeo. And Safdar has got through past Statistic King and up into second position. Can he go after the race leader? He has got 20 laps to do it, but he is 16 seconds behind. Now here's Newbell in 9th place, continuing his fight back after serving a drive-through penalty for exceeding the virtual safety car Delta. And the Mercedes, goes wide on, he spins the car almost, coming out of the Casio triangle. Newbell sees the gap and goes through and up into 8th. So Womack's going backwards at the moment. So looking at Safdar's times, he's munching the gap at the moment. He's not really got any traffic in front of him. There is a Ferrari ahead who is a lap behind. Shouldn't be too much of a problem for him though. That's Slow Coach in 15th place. So Gamma completes in lap 34. There is Safdar. 16 seconds was the gap last time around. What will be the gap when Safdar crosses over the line? I think he's taken about 0.6 of a second out of Gamma's lead on that last lap alone, so he is gaining. I think Gamma's taking it easy at the moment because he knows how tricky these conditions are. Very easy to make a mistake. Now Safdar, just looking to see where he finished last time out. He didn't actually finish the first race. Well, he didn't compete last weekend. He's on course to finish second here. Now Orange and Gamma in second place in the championship before this one. His victory would most certainly put him into the lead of the title race. Now Orange and Gamma coming through. We're going to go to the battle for sixth because Pimis has closed in on the McLaren of Paskov. He's got great drive coming out of Spoon. He'll be able to get the job done on the start-finish straight for when they get round. Or will he go to the inside into the Casio triangle? Not quite through there. But the Williams driver is within range to have a go at some point. Just not on this occasion. And so he's 6 behind for now. Now the top 15, or the 15 drivers still left in this race, would still score points. $40 points for a race win, 32 for second, 26 for third, 20 for fourth, right all the way down to 15th position, the 15th place driver who would get 1 point, providing they are classified at the end of the race. And Pinnis looking to find a gap to gain as much time as possible. Got great traction coming out of Spoon. To the outside he goes, on the back straight before 130R, and Pimis is through. So Pimis goes up into 6th position in the Williams. Here's Max, who is going to be on the tail of Statistic King Sholty because he's less than a second behind him. And I'm just thinking, how much rain? Is the rain going to get heavier than what it is now? So Safdar continuing to narrow down the gap. It's now 14.7 seconds. I highly doubt that he's going to close in a lot more, to be honest with you, on Gamma before the end of the race. But at least Safdar will be very happy to finish in second, considering where he had started. He did pit in for a new front wing in the first couple of laps, but has quietly made his way back up very, very well. So Max in fourth position, right on board with him again as they exit Spoon. Statistic King going wide, didn't get good drive coming out of there, and that's going to allow Max to pull into the slipstream and use his ERS. Statistic King goes to the left, allows room for Max to make a move down the outside into 130R, and Max has got it done. Now, Statistic King was probably being a bit too kind there, because I felt he could have kept hold of that position, but he didn't want to risk causing a collision. So Max goes up into third place now in the Mercedes. He's got 11 seconds to make up on Safdar in front. Safdar almost drifting coming out of the S's. So satisfying to watch. So Safdar coming through. Now, the driver who set the fastest up of the race is Orange and Gamut, so that'll be another championship point going towards him. Now, if Orange and Gamut was to take the race win and the fastest lap, that would take his points total to 73. Moving up into second place in the championship will be Sadistic King, who will be, to my knowledge, he'll be picking up 20 points if he was to finish in fourth place, which would put him on to 38. So Dixon's leading the Orange and Gamma's leading the championship will be 32 points going into the next race in Canada next week. Here's Max. And Plymouth has got a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits too many times. And he's just trying to get by the Ferraris actually, who are tossing amongst themselves. The slow coach goes past Marcy into 14th position. He's looking to chase down his teammate Williams for 5th place. Runs a little bit wide through Dunlop, and someone's had enough in sector 2. It's Statistic King. He's broken his front wing as well, and Statistic King's going to drop down the order. He rejoins the track. Oh, nearly takes out Paskov. So Statistic King will surely need to pit in for a new front wing at the end of this lap. He'll lose places to Newbell, Womax, and King of the Hills. But at least he'll be on fresher intermediates than those behind him. In fact, he's going wide and struggling to keep the car pointed in the right direction. There's his teammate. Sister King goes into the gravel. So Sister King coming through the Casio Triangle now. Now, does he turn in and without hitting that pit wall on the left-hand side? Yes, he does. And he's calling it quits. So Statistic King is not prepared to carry on. He becomes the 5th retirement from this Japanese Grand Prix. Could have picked up some useful points actually from this race as Statistic King, but thought, no, I'd rather not. Not a very good attitude, to be honest with you, it has to be said. You know you're one of the quickest drivers in the field. Why do you need to quit now when you've got a good chance of points? So Safdar maintaining or staying in that 14-second window of his teammate. Max is now Max is in 3rd place. Pimis taking more out of the margin between him and Williams in front. Now the thing is for Pimis, he is carrying a 3-second time penalty, so once he gets by Williams, if he does so, he would need to pull out a 3-second margin on him, at least, to keep hold of 4th position. So here's Pimis, who's now 1.1 seconds behind Williams as they come through Degnut. And that looks like a bat marker ahead of them. Can't quite tell who that is. It's the Alfa Romeo of Han, who's ahead of those two. Now Han, who is now running at the moment 13th, which will become 12th once she goes past Statistic King. She's now 2 laps behind the leader. You can see Pim is trying to find anywhere he can, any grip he can, as he accelerates out of the corners. So Pimis in 5th position, aiming to get in front of Williams very, very soon. There's Han just moving out of the way. There's Newbell in 7th place. And looks as though the rain is going to stay until the end of the race. I mean, Orange and Gamma at the moment just looks unstoppable where he is right now. There is Pimis. I think now they've got by that back marker, he can start to close in. In fact, if he can get by Williams, he may be able to close in on Max, who doesn't seem to be liking the conditions as much as others. Now the rain's coming down at a harder rate. You can see, look how hard the rain is coming down. Now, I'm not saying the drivers will go onto wets, but that could be what they need later on. We've still got 11 laps to go, so there's still time for the conditions to deteriorate even more here. And look at the conditions now. Will we see wet tyres being used before the race is over? So Plymouth looking to make a move on Williams. Now Williams has got a lot of ERS conserved. Plymouth goes wide onto the grass. That won't help his cause. Now they come through the exit of Spoon. And Statistic King coming out saying it will be full wets at some point. The weather is scheduled for it. Done a quick test the other day, and the full wets may come into play around lap 45, possibly. Well, we are now on lap 44, and look at the rain there. I think it's safe to say that you're probably right there, Jamie, otherwise known as Statistic King. Now, apparently, Statistic King did a 10-hour shift, 6 days of work a week, and then no sleep, and 100% do not mix at all. Well, perhaps if you became a YouTuber and made money from that, Jamie, that may be something for future reference. I don't know, you tell me. Now Plymouth is in 5th position still. Oh, he's caught the curb as he tried to find as much grip as possible. I think we will be seeing drivers going onto the wet tyres very, very soon here with the way the rain is coming down. Newbell's got ahead of Rumax into 7th. Well, he's already done that, actually, a long time ago. And it won't be too long before he gets by Paskov on the road. Now there is Orange and Gamma. I think we're starting to see some wet tyres being put onto some of these cars. Eckhots is the first driver to go onto the wets. What time can he find? He is in 11th place and he hasn't got anything to lose. Now Plymouth's got great drive through 130R. Can he pull alongside his teammate and go through on the start-finish straight? Oh, they nearly came together. So Williams ducked into the pits as Plymouth was lining up for a move. That could have ended in tears. But Williams is in the pits now for the full wets, as is Paskov. Newbell stays out for another lap. I've just seen Statistic King's reply to what I was saying. I'm not entertaining enough. Literally all I do is swear and I'm Scottish. I'd be minus subs. Well, if you didn't have a low self-esteem, mate, there are things in life you can actually achieve without actually believing it. So Pascal rejoins in 7th place, Williams in 6th. Now, they are on the wet tyres now. We're seeing those towards the back of the field making their move. Now, how long will it be before the leaders start to come in? Well, Gamma's decided to stay out on his intermediates. Safdar's in the pits, though. Does the car slow down? He does in time. Yeah, I think he got it slowed down in time. So, Safdar going on to the wets. And I think Mats is going to be coming in soon to put the wet tyres on. Yep, the Mercedes is going to be coming in. We think that Plymouth will do the same. So Safdar keeps hold of 2nd place. Max will keep hold of 3rd. but Newbell stayed out. I think he did think about coming into the pits, but had he changed his mind, he probably would have gone into the pit wall. So Newbell goes up into 3rd place. Is Newbell going to try and risk it out on intermediates? Now I'm just looking at Orange and Gamma. Surely he must be thinking about coming into the pits very, very soon. Pimis rejoins behind his teammate again. So surely Gammon must be pitting in at this lap. Unless he's prepared to stay on the intermediates until the end of the race. No, he's coming in. I think that's probably the most sensible decision. Orange and Gamma exiting the pits. You can see the standing water appearing. So Orange and Gamma retains the lead. Softo will have gained some time on him on his outlap as well. Just want to have a look to see what the gap really is. By the time Softo gets through turns 2 and 3, the gap is now less than 10 seconds, which is less than what it was before the leaders came in for their weather pit stops. And Newbell deciding to see it out to the end, I think, on his intermediates. But surely he's going to be struggling on those. Unless he can find grip anywhere he can. There's Paskov in 7th place now. As it stands with the time penalty, he would stay in 7th place. Pimis would keep hold of 6th. Eckhart would not lose any positions with where he is right now, so time penalties don't seem to be changing the pecking order when it comes to the checker flag. And the statistic is just now saying that ain't low self-esteem, it's just facts. Well, never give up on your dreams, mate. I don't know what it is you want to achieve in your life, but if it's to become a content creator of some sort, there's always hope. And now Newbell in 3rd position. He's losing time actually. He was 3 seconds ahead of Max at the end of the previous lap, but Max is on the better tyres at this point, so Newbell, I don't think he's got any chance of fending off this position unless he can force Max into a mistake. Newbell goes wide at 130 yards. They come through the Casio triangle. Now, does Newbell go in the pits? No, he stays out again. Now, I think if Max is going to get by him, he may have to do it through the corners because the straight doesn't seem to be the best place to do it in the conditions. Pimis gets by Williams and up into 5th place on the road. He needs to pull out a 3-second gap on him between now and the end of the race if he is to keep hold of that position. I think with 6 laps to go, that's doable. Half a second a lap is what he needs to find. And someone's had a moment in sector 1. Can't quite tell who that was. It may have been Williams, actually. So, in fact, Pimis's prayers have been answered because Williams is now 3 seconds behind him. So Pimis's challenge is now going to be pursuing Max and Newbell. So these two are battling as Max goes to the inside of Newbell. The two touch. I don't think Newbell is going to be able to fight back on this occasion. So he drops behind Max. So Max back up into 3rd place. Newbell trying to go to the end on the intermediate without pitting. It won't be too long before Pimis looms in. Oh, Sissikins just coming saying, I want what everyone wants in this world, mate. World peace. To be fair, that's not a bad point. Saying have a good life. He's saying he wants to have a good life, find a good woman, maybe another kid or two. Life would be sorted. Well, everyone's life is different to another, mate. So Primus all over the back of Newbelt. Can he get the move down into the first turn? Can he force Newbelt into a mistake? Newbelt not getting good traction coming out of there. I think Primus is going to need to very much force into a mistake. There we go, look. Opens Newbelt opening the door for him, and Primus goes through and up into 4th. Primus on a charge on the wet weather tyres. He's loving the track out there. It's pretty much falling into place for him. So Primus is now just over 2 seconds behind Max in the battle for third. But even if he was to get past him, he would need to open up a 3-second gap on him to go up to the podium with Gamma and Safdar. And I don't think it's going to be too long before Williams gets onto the back of Newbell, who continues to struggle on his intermediates. Now Williams is 1.4 seconds behind Newbell. Now, to be fair, with the conditions, there are parts of the racetrack where there's not so much standing water, which I think is playing into Newbell's hands a little bit more, but not so much. It's through the corners where he's struggling the most. Now Primus has narrowed down the gap between him and Max to 1.5 seconds. Primus pushing ever so hard through Dunlop. And Williams now within 0.3 of Newbell. Can he get the move done into the hairpin? It's too far back to have a go, so he decides to wait. Can he get good traction out of the hairpin? Newbell just about stays in front. 3 laps to go now here at Suzuka. Orange Gamma's lead is now 10 seconds as he makes his way through the back markers. There's a battle actually for 8th place between Rumax in the Mercedes and Jay Hartnell in the Renault. Now Jay Hartnell finished on the podium last week at Monza. Not having the best of races today, but at least he's still on course for points. Let's go back to the battle for 5th, because Williams is all over the back of Newbell, and surely he's going to get the job done on the start-finish race. He's got his ERS. Oh, he goes wide onto the grass there. That's not the way to get through. Williams managed to keep the car pointing in the right direction whilst he was at it. And so he sits behind, goes to the outside of Newbell as they come through the S's. Williams looking to find any grip where Newbell can't. I think he's going to try and get the job done into the hairpin. Primus has got the gap down between him and Max to 1 second. Well, 0.9 of a second actually as we speak. And there's a move further behind as Jay Hartnell looks to get the job done on Wumax for 8th place. And can't quite do it there. He just backed out of it at the last moment though, Jay Hartnell. I felt he had the right to go for it. He was very much alongside, but didn't want to risk it. There's Williams all over the back of the Red Bull as they come into the spoon curve. Oh, they two touch, and Newbell goes off. And Williams has picked up a 3-second time penalty for that as well. I think that was mainly for exceeding track limits. I think Williams may have a case on that afterwards, but either way, he's been given a 3-second time penalty, which may guarantee Newbell 5th position. Now, Pimis is right behind Max as they start their penultimate lap. Williams determined to get in front on the road at least. There's Jay Hartnell in 9th place behind Womack still. He needs to get the job done within the next lap or so because they have been lapped by the leader, and the leader is about to start his final lap. Marcy in 14th place, 5 laps behind. So Orange and Gamma starts in his final lap now. He's dominated this race. And Pimis has got through on Max for 3rd place. And in fact, Safdar's got a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. That'll go to his time at the end of the race. And Pimis has got the same time penalty as Max actually. So Pimis will be able to go to the podium, providing he stays 3 seconds ahead of everyone else, which he is. So Pimis has got a great chance to go to the podium now, with where he is at the moment. Williams has got by the Red Bull of Newbell as they approach Spoon. And Williams goes through. He is carrying that 3-second time penalty, so he needs to play out a 3-second gap on the Red Bull to keep hold of it. And Newbell cuts in the corner there at 130R. Let's go back to the lead though, because Orange and Gamma, well, it's just been sensational. Wet or dry, nothing could stop him in this race. With Dixon absent from today's event, he will go to the top of the table by a long way, going into the 3rd race of the season in Canada. Someone's on the moment in sector 2, I think that's probably one of the Ferraris. But here's Gamma coming through the Casio triangle for the last time. Just the right-hand kink to go through. Orange and Gamma, in the wet conditions in the second half of the race, wins the Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka. He leads the Drivers' Championship with that and sets in the fastest lap of the race as well, so that's a bonus point for him. Safdar comes home in 2nd place, a long way ahead of Pimis, who's only just exited the hairpin there. So whilst we're waiting for him, Womax is 8th, Jay Hartnell 9th, Eckott in 10th position, King of the Hills will be 11th, Han in 12th, Slow Coach 13th, Marcy in 14th. But Pimis has done brilliantly from where he has started. 16th on the grid to 3rd, Max from 17th on the grid to 4th, Safdar from 14th to 2nd. Superlative performance from all of those drivers. Pimis taking the final podium spot in 3rd place. Max is 4th. Williams has just pulled out a 3-second margin on Newbell for 5th position. But he's coming through now to cross the line in 5th, Newbell 6th, and Paskov will be 7th. But it's victory for Gamma at Suzuka. He has relished in the conditions here today, and so he'll be happy as well. It's a Racing Point 1-2 as well. Safdar will be very happy after pitting early on for front wing, after front wing damage at the start. Coming through to finish 2nd, but it's Gamma's trophy, it's his winner's trophy, and he'll be the one inheriting top spot in the driver's standings. We hope to see Dixon back on the grid next time out in Canada, as we have 7 more races to decide who will be champion in the 100% Racing Championship. So your final classification of the Japanese Grand Prix. Orange and Gamma is your race winner. Safdar second. Pimis is third for Williams, followed by Max in fourth. Williams was fifth, ahead of Newbelt. Pascal in seventh. Max 8th. Jay Hartnell 9th. Eckhots in 10th place. King of the Hills was 11th. Han in 12th. Sokoch 13th. Marcy 5 laps down in 14th, but has completed enough laps to be classified. Statistic King retired in the pits. Wild Dog crashed out, as is Moody. Milos retired, and Ollie retired in the pits earlier on. So, regards to the championship, Gamma leads by 32 points over Dixon, going to the next round in Canada in a week's time on the 29th of May, 9 p.m. British Summer Time. There is qualifying also on Friday at 7 p.m. British Summer Time, but the race itself will be on the Saturday at 9 p.m. British Summer Time. I'm Tom Cairns, and I'll speak to you again soon when the Formula Racing League returns.